What's good, everybody? My name is Coach, and in today's video we're going to be building Light-Paws Emperor's Voice. So this is a mono white enchantment build. You know, looking at this card, I don't think I really realized how, you know, I thought that it was just an aura that targeted Light-Paws that would allow you to tutor for another enchantment and put it into play. What I learned was actually, if you cast any aura spell, it says whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control. So technically, I don't even, wait a minute. Yeah, if you cast it. Oh, I was gonna say, if you cast it, so if I cast an aura on my opponent's creatures, I then am able to search for another aura and attach it to Light-Paws, which I think was just, I could not build this. And there was a suggestion by someone in Tori of the Vast's Discord server that suggested that people build this commander, and I went out the other day and I purchased a lot of enchantment auras that we have over here to build this deck. So if anybody's watching this, if you have any suggestions for what I should do or to help me, I would genuinely appreciate it. The purpose of these videos is for me to upload this so that people can help me build a commander deck. And more importantly, like, I know that a lot of people on my channel are relatively new to Magic. So if you describe something or if you have any comments, just write in a way that's easy to understand so that the people that are brand new to the game can understand the purpose of the video. So because this is mono white, I tend to run removal pretty heavy. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna sort through these cards and I'm gonna grab all of the removal that I can find and just set that off into one pile so that I at least know how many removal spells. I have 36 lands over here off to the side, and then I have taken some cards already and placed it inside here just because I know I want to run these cards. The goal is to create a deck that just turns Light-Paws into just an unstoppable force of life gain and defense and attacking. But you know, people, you can imagine whatever you want, but actually sitting down and playing that are two completely different things. So I'm just gonna start by grabbing all the removal that I can find, and then we go from there. Let's go with 15 pieces of removal, and then we will go from there. So I'm gonna take this Oppressive Raise as 1 mana. It says enchanted creature can't attack or block unless they pay 3. Activated abilities of enchanted creature cost 3 more to activate. More importantly, this costs 1 mana. So technically, if I cast this onto a creature, I can find a 1 mana aura and attach it to Light-Paws, which could potentially give Light-Paws lifelink, vigilance, and a myriad of other things. So we're gonna pick that. We'll tick this because this destroys enchantments. We'll pick pacifism. I don't know yet. Here, I like this card. I like that card. I like that card. This. You know, I think we're gonna take out the Crush Contraband and play the Return to Dust instead. Menacing Slash, Detention Vortex, Sigarda's Imprisonment for 3 mana. That Martial Impetus, I'm not too sure. Arrest and Austere Command. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just sleeve these as we go. And then in the end, what we're gonna do is just lay out all the cards to see how much, how balanced the mana is. And then we can just make tiny adjustments from there, and then we'll be done. So we have 36 lands and 20 pieces of removal in our commander, so that's 57 cards already in the deck. So now let's get we'll call it our ramp. And I don't even think ramp is going to be that important inside this deck, just because everything's kind of just so low CMC. But we'll play it anyway. A Paradise Plume. So I mean, Lifegate is like a minor sub theme inside the deck. So I mean, I don't know if it's really going to be that important, but we'll play it just because. I'm gonna play this Pristine Talisman, and we'll play this Gold Mirror. Marble Diamond. Palladium Mirror. And then, do we care about this Manolith? I'd rather pay the 1 extra mana to gain life off this Paradise Plume, if I'm being honest. So we'll just do that. And then I do like these cards right here. Although this is 6 mana, but we're really only ever going to use this to land cycle. And then we're only ever going to use this to land cycle as well. I just really want to make sure that I'm hitting my land drops and not necessarily ramping, just because this deck is just so, I think the converted mana cost is just relatively low, and the fact that we're 2-for-1ing every single time we cast an aura, and Light-Paws only cost 2 mana, I just think that it's like, I don't really want to spend my early turns ramping when I could just be, you know, just getting land into play and making an effect on the board. We're gonna play this Gift of Estates because that grabs us lands. The Arathos Explorer gets us lands. This has nothing to do with lands. This will get us plains on turn 2. This is a first striker, which we can put auras on, which would be cool. And then the restoration of this, and it also returns something from the battlefield onto the graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, cool. All right, that works for me. So so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 57 plus 12 is a number. So we're at that number right now. So now what we're gonna do is, now I'm thinking, how many auras do we need inside this deck? I know we're taking out 5 pieces of removal at some point, so how many auras is a good amount of auras? I remember reading something called like the rule of 8. Like if you want something to be consistent inside of a deck, you'd want 8 of something. So I'm thinking about, instead of 8, we'll just double that. We'll go for 16. So we'll have 15 pieces of removal, but then 16 auras. And then that will be our ability to equip Light-Paws. And then, wait, if we do 16, I gotta do math right now. 16 plus that number will leave us with 85. And then we'll use the last 15 cards to add like anything extra. Tutors, we can add the tutors. And then ways to get stuff out of the graveyard. And then that'll be the deck basically. So let's grab the auras. Dude, I think that this flicker form right here is amazing inside this deck. First of all, it's only 2 mana, so it's relatively super easy to tutor for. And then it says you can pay 4 mana to exile enchanted creature and all auras attached to it, which is just, that's just so wild inside this. I think that's so important. That's just me though, just what I think. I kind of think this card right here can win games. And for 2 mana, target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn for each artifact and or enchantment you control. I think that's just ridiculous inside this deck. And you get a creature that gets +1/+1 for each artifact. This is basically all that glitters. I'm not going to count it as an aura, but I still think that's like a potentially game-winning card. Aura. Tutors. Aura. Oh, we're definitely playing this. I'm gonna leave that right there. That's not an aura. This card can be mean. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's all the auras. Okay. So I'm thinking 5 cards that give Light-Paws lifelink. So lifelink. This draws us a card. This gives Light-Paws lifelink. This is lifelink. Do I have another lifelink over here? Yeah, I do. Spirit Loop. Yeah, I want all of those cards basically. I wonder if I have question. If I have this on the battlefield, it says whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. And then I have something that says it has lifelink. Does lifelink essentially trigger twice? That's the question of the day. I'm not too sure how that works or if that works that way, but if it does, that would be pretty cool. So we're gonna play the Spirit Link. Just because, like, I could play a Spirit Link onto Light-Paws, and then because this lifelink is another 1 CMC, I could essentially cast the Spirit Link and then tutor for the lifelink to then double up on the lifelink triggers essentially. So I gain double life when Light-Paws deals damage. Which would be just... it's just... that would be funny. Just what I think. So how many cards we got here right now? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Where's the Celestial Mantle? We're gonna play that as well. Maybe we take out one of the lifelink cards. Nah, we don't. Leave it like that. That's fine. Let me see. Okay, so we have how many here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9. So right now, because we have 9, what I'm thinking is we need to protect Light-Paws. So we'll do 6 cards that protect Light-Paws. So this enchants gives Light-Paws protection from a color, protection from creatures, protection from creatures, protection from a color. This is totem armor. Do we count protection from creatures as protection? That's the question. That's another question. I don't think I'm going to. So we're just gonna say like this doesn't count. That's basically unblockable. What that means. That's more offensive than it is the other way around. So Umbra. Okay, so that's only 4. I mean, yeah, I think we'll just play this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 6. The Spirit Mantle costs... this draws us a card. I don't know if this Holy Mantle really... Holy Mantle gives one more +1 does the same thing but costs double the mana. So I'm gonna leave this Holy Mantle off to the side and say that that may not be worth the 4 mana to play. So we'll play Spirit Mantle, Unquestioned Authority. This draws us a card. Hyena Umbra. I have more Umbras, but I just like these because they're really cheap. That Umbra, Showmano's Blessing, and then Benevolent Blessing. These both essentially have flash, which I find pretty cool. And then, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's already 15 auras. Okay, so now we need auras that are just gonna end the game. So Battle Mastery gives double strike, +1/+1 for each aura. Let's see, +1/+1 for each enchantment. And then I know we have these over here. All That Glitters is another one of those cards. Flicker Form is basically a protection one as well, now that I think about it. So we have All That Glitters, Ethereal Armor. Do we play a Armored Ascension? This gives Light-Paws flying and gets +1/+1 for each planes you control. Does that matter? I think the flying matters. So we're just gonna go ahead and play all these. Why not? Why not? We gotta make... We essentially have to cut 5 removal spells anyway, so I don't think it really matters. This Vigilance. I think I'm just gonna play one thing that gives Light-Paws Vigilance just because I can escape this. So this is essentially Forever Vigilance. So we'll play that. And then I think Light-Paws needs flying. So we'll do this. And we'll play the Armored Ascension just so that the dream here is that we play we have Vigilance, Lifelink, Protection from all creatures, and then Flying, and then this Entangler. So that's Entangler, Lifelink, Vigilance, Protection. So in 2 aura spells essentially, because it's always a 2-for-1, we can assemble this dream. Because this card here says enchanted creature may block any number of creatures. So the idea is that if Light-Paws has Vigilance, I can attack unblocked and then keep Light-Paws back to block and be able to block all creatures with lifelink, mind you, so I can gain all that life and then just chill. You know, that's my Light-Paws dream. You know, if anybody has any suggestions on how you guys build your commander decks, the process that I'm going through now is kind of what I do when I build my, obviously it's what I do because that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so now that I have essentially 100 of the cards I would play in our commander, what we're gonna do is just align them so we see what our mana curve looks like, and then we remove cards and adjust. So the mana curve is actually looking pretty decent. This is essentially a 2-drop because we're immediately discarding this card. This is another 2-drop because we're immediately discarding this. We got a Sun Titan over there, the Austere Command, and then the Celestial Mantle, which doubles our life total, which I find worth the 6 mana, just because, you know, to me it's like, as long as we're gaining enough life, if we have to wait to bring Light-Paws back into the game, that trade-off where it just kind of gives us the ability to just play games out, you know? We gained enough life, I don't think it's really gonna affect us too much. So we want to make space now for how many cards? Where are the cards that I had over here? So I want to play this Alisade. I want to play this Cliffside Rescuer, and then this it says protection. From each of your opponents. This one gives indestructible, so let's go with the indestructible one, just because of board wipes. I think that's going to be a bit more important. This card right here, kind of want to play this just because I think it's going to be extremely difficult to remove Light-Paws, but then again, we have so much life gain that I just don't think that it's going to be really important, just because I don't know how often we're going to get to have Light-Paws in play and then worry about our life total like that, honestly. It's just what I think. This card can win us the game. I don't know. To me, target creature gets +1/+1 till the end of turn for each artifact or enchantment you control. Yo, Fireheart. I mean, it depends on the type of removal. I think that's why we're playing the cards that give protection here. And then we also have the Umbra cards that'll basically just the totem armor, I guess you would call it, so it keeps Light-Paws in the game, but they would have to use a lot of removal to keep Light-Paws not in the game. But because you just said that, we do have this Karametra's Blessing, this Adamant Will that we could play. We have and then the Cliffside Rescuer. So essentially we could add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more cards to keep Light-Paws from being removed. But that's a really good point, because I honestly should have more cards that keep Light-Paws alive, just because, like you just said, like this deck will literally do nothing, literally does nothing if Light-Paws is not in the game. So I think this is a fair addition to the deck. So Adamant Will, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's remove some of the, you know, I don't think that this is really that important. So we're gonna take this and we'll remove that, and we'll add the Alisade at 1 mana. I think we're gonna remove this lifelink here, just because there's so much lifelink. We'll play this Cliffside Rescuer. At 5 mana, do we really want this Timeless Dragon? I know we can Plane Cycle on turn 2, but I would just like to play Light-Paws on turn 2. Either that or... You know what? I'm gonna leave this out. If when I play test it, if I find that it's difficult for me to get lands into my hand, then I'll play that. But Karametra's Blessing for 1 mana, I mean, I'll play that. The Sun Titan works. You know, I think that there was a removal spell here that... I think this Armored Ascension can go. And we'll play Selfless Samurai. And then we have the Adamant Will. And I think that I could take out Faith's Fetters and keep Paradise. I think I'm gonna take out this Paradise Plume. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take out the Paradise Queen. Just because like a 4 mana to do that, I don't know if I really want to be doing that in turn 4. I think I'd rather just have play Light-Paws and then do this. Deck for command. Nice, dude. Dude, exactly, Fireheart. This is just like tutor commander. Tutoring is so much fun. Right now, honestly, even though like I'm looking at this, generally when I play commander decks, I run 36 lands. Like always. Like that's like literally in all of my commander decks, I always run 36 lands. But looking at this, we have a lot of ways to put lands into our hand. And I think that, look at the curve. Look how many 1-drops we have. Look how many 2-drops we have. Like, if I put any more 2-drops this way, it's gonna fall off the table. And then we have all these 3-drops. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I don't think I need, I think I would be good with removing 1 land. Let's remove an ugly land. Where's the ugly land? This. We'll keep that one. Yeah, we'll just remove this one. So we have a free card right now. That's an extra card. So then, if I look at this, this Transcendent Envoy makes our aura spells cost 1 less. I think I'd rather play that than play a Pristine Talisman. Although this does gain us a life every time we tap this. But I think that this gives us a flying blocker, and it basically acts like ramp. So here's another 2-drop. But then does white have cards that let you play cards from your land? What do you mean specifically, Mr. Fireheart? I have this. I pulled this from the box, so I guess this is kind of like a card that's a land. But like, what do you mean, dude? I think that we got the protection, we got the lifelink. I could play Elspeth. This gives target creature 3/3 and gains flying. This, I think these 3 cards I want to play. Just because this will return an enchantment from my graveyard to our hand. This will return an enchantment. Both of these will basically do that same thing. So, and this one's 3 mana. I know there's one removal spell here that doesn't really do what I want it to do. Let me see. No, it's not there. Or maybe I should take out some of the 1-drops, maybe. But yo, this is what I was talking about, Mr. Hart, about the totem armor. This card says, when enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. And then I can get it back with the Auramancer or this Tragic Poet. Should be cool. I think this one can go. And then we'll play the Poet. I'd rather play the Oromancer because this happens immediately. I don't have to wait like a turn. And then I think I'm gonna take out this Detention Vortex. And then I think we got it. I think this is basically it, dude. I mean, I do have this game-ending card right here. But I think for now, I'm super grateful that my cousin says that he wants to play Magic tomorrow so I can play test this against an actual person. And then we'll see how that works. But yo, Fireheart, how long have you been playing Magic for, dude? When did you start playing Magic, brother?